We've got some Subaru content today, a 2020 Subaru Outback. So our friend brought this in and he did a little bit of research and found out that it needed a couple things for it to be a better car. So we got 3 projects here. We've got a strut bar, top mount in the engine bay, speakers for the front and rear, transmission mount goes in between and makes it stiffer, and the steering column lockdown. So this kind of eliminates the free play on this rubber bushing on the actual steering column. It's not going to take too long to do. The speakers are actually the hardest part. Me and Jacob are going to show you the process of installing all these. So it's going to be a couple hours of just throwing all these parts in. I'm going to put the link to everything in the description below. So the first thing we're going to do is tackle the speaker system. This kit comes with 2 6x9s right here, 2 6.5s, some tweeters, which are these little baby ones, speaker adapters for the tweeters, the crossovers for the tweeters, and the speaker mounts, which I don't know if we're gonna have to use yet, but we'll find out. Then it comes with the harness, wiring harness. Apparently a lot of people do complain about these speakers. We listened to them last night, just a little bit. There are some frequencies that it's missing and some frequencies where they're kind of garbly, but it's not the worst speaker system. I can understand why people do want to upgrade them. We'll give you a little clip of it playing so we can compare when we're done with this. All right, so with our kit, we're going to be replacing 3 sections of speakers. We've got the tweeters up in the dashboard. There's one underneath this mesh grill. You're going to need a short angled screwdriver. Same spot on the other side. We're going to do this. Door speakers, these are the 6x9s, the 6.5s, and the back door. So we're going to have to remove the panels of the doors on both sides and those little pieces up in the top. All right, just grab a really small flathead screwdriver to pop it out. Just work it around, pull it out evenly. And there you go, same thing on the other side. It's got 2 screws, one on each side, one right here, one right here. Phillips, unscrewing them. And there's a connector on the bottom, like that. There's a little tab on one side that you push in, and then you just pull it off. So here's the old tweeter, about the same size. Looks like it's made of a hard plastic on the actual speaker cone, which I'm sure is not good sounding. So this kit comes with a couple different options for installing these tweeters. They give you a flush mount option, a drill through with a pivot. So these are all separate pieces. This is the mounting piece I'm going to use. Sits into this dished so you can angle it, because I want to actually angle these tweeters towards the driver instead of at the windshield. And then there's also just a flat flush. So I mean, if you want how it is factory, you can just draw 2 little holes and mount it on here. I'm just worried about it actually fitting underneath that mesh grill, and this actually gives it a lower profile. So I'm going to drill a hole that is this diameter in this plastic and then mount this into it, like one of these. All right, I drew a 1 3/4 inch hole. It's just about perfect. This will go through the top side. Be sure you put your orientation to where you can angle this correctly. So you want to feed the wires through one side of this. And then when this goes in, press in, and then you twist it to lock it in. You might have to use a little flathead to get it. And you'll have to feed the wires through again. Might be best to separate these wires. Put one on each side. And then you can pull this down in and have it rest. So that is how it sits. You're gonna have to find a small nut to put on this. Tighten it down and put it in. So that's how it's gonna look when it's done. And then we got the wiring harness adapter. It's super long for no reason, but it'll fit underneath the speaker. So we're gonna throw this in, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. But it's always important to test your speakers before you finish installing them all the way. So I'm just gonna plug this in and test it. All right, so here it is, installed with a faceplate on it. Just so you know how it looks, slightly angled towards the front. So now we're gonna get to these door speakers. All right, so to get this door off, just get a flat head. You're gonna open this and hold it open, and that'll fall out. No, all you gotta do is just put a screwdriver behind it, pop it off with this door handle open, and that'll give you access to this screw right here. And then there's a little baby door panel right there, and that just pops up to another screw in there. Take those out. Once those screws are out, you just yank that mug off. You might want to get a trim pry to pop it off. There's 9 clips that hold that on, and it just comes right off. Take that. Same thing on this one. There's one. Get these off. Just pinch them and pull them. Oh, there's it. This one's kind of tough. Okay, now your door's disconnected, and we can get these speakers. These 6x9s that are fake 6x9s, because they're actually just 5 1/4 on a 6x9 plate.
That's so whack. Yeah, again, you get 4 Phillips screws, lefty-loosey.
Take that out.
Check this out, guys. Here, yeah, check it out. Look at this. So you think this is bad, right? You have the fake 6 with the little 5 in it. Wait till you see
that little baby coil.
I almost called it a magnet, but I mean,
that's nothing. And these are gonna house the 6x9s. Now we got this much heavier duty one with a much bigger coil in the back. Okay, it mounts on the top end, so that goes underneath it. You're gonna screw those in, and then you're gonna screw this bracket to the door. There are some wiring harness involved that it came with, so we're gonna plug those in. Oh, it comes with screws this time. So look for those when you're doing the tweeters. All right, so in order for these to work, we had to get our own hardware. The ones that it came with were too long, and it wouldn't let these mount to the door. So we got a little bit thicker and a little bit shorter than the ones that it came with. And now it works perfect, and it's way sturdier. Screw them in. All right, so we got it installed here. When we took it apart, you saw that speaker wire was originally right here. So if you feed it through, there's a cutout behind this plastic that you can push it behind, and then that way you can connect the speaker wire behind this piece of metal and have this flush mounted.
The back door is the same. You get the little flathead in there, pop that plastic piece out, there's a screw there, and there's a little flap down here, you get that screw there. The same method. We're gonna get that pry tool.
All right, so this speaker kit and this, actually the mounting kit separate came with hardware, but the hardware didn't work with it because it was too long. So we had to get our own hardware again. So for both of these adapter plates, you need your own hardware. It doesn't come with the adequate hardware. Once you get your speaker mounted to your adapter plate, make sure it's tight all the way in and those screws don't go past that bottom depth. You're gonna break off those little tabs, which are these little pieces. You don't need those, and they'll get in the way on both sides. There's 2 of them. And then mount the adapter plate to this. You're gonna wanna bring the wire, which was originally coming out of here, put it behind, and there's a hole pass through right here behind it. So just mount it so it's all secure and there's no rattle. All right, for this steering lockdown, you're gonna be looking right below the master cylinder. There's that black steering column right there. On the top end, right below, you can't see it right now, but right below this brake drum booster, there's a silver bolt. I'll show you the photo of it on here. There's that bolt on the top end, and then you're also looking for a bolt on the bottom end. You're gonna have to turn the steering wheel to have this one line up directly up, and then use a combination of extensions with a 12mm socket at the end to loosen that 2 turns. And for the bottom one, you're gonna have to reach your arm in really far with a 12mm ratcheting wrench to be able to loosen that one. And you can't get them both in the same position. You have to turn the wheel in between the two. But once they're both loose, we're gonna take the parts and put them between the end of the U-joint and the actual rubber dampener. It's two metal pieces, and they get pulled together with a bolt. You can install it, pull them together, and then take the bolt out, put thread lock on it, and put it back in. You're gonna have to put those in by hand and squeeze them in just to hold them in place. But then you're gonna wanna line up by turning the wheel again so that you can get this ratchet with a Allen key to 3/8 inch extension piece. So it's like basically just an Allen key for a ratchet. So you can line it up perfectly to where it goes down into the bolt. And then once it's tight, take that bolt out and swap it with the shorter bolt with thread lock on it. All right, once you got the new one in with thread lock, you're gonna wanna torque it down to about 10 foot-pounds. Okay, well I did that.
You have to get those steering racks back down to 17.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. All right, yeah, then retighten those 12 millimeter pinch bolts to about 17.4.
Correct.
In there. So once you do that, you're done. And then we're gonna move on to this strut bar.
For the strut bar, guys, you take off the two factory nuts that sit here. They're right here. It's a 14 millimeter. The new ones that you put on are 15 millimeters, so you're gonna need two different size sockets. But yeah, you mount them this way. And then next, I'm gonna grab the bar. So now this one's gonna go on your passenger side so that you can read parent.
Yeah.
And this one's gonna go on your driver's side so that you can read parent.
All right, you're gonna wanna have the bar with the top hats on both sides and the screws threaded in just by finger, just a little bit. So you can align this bar to where it's equal in both sides and fully as far forward this way. And then tighten down the innermost bolts closer to the center of the car. Do the back ones, and then you fully tighten down the front ones, or middle ones, and then tighten down the outside completely. Just about to strip the head of the bolt, basically. And it should be good.
You want to torque these down to, I think it's like 22 foot-pounds.
Okay. All right, now we got the car lifted off. We're gonna be working right here on this cross member. The steps involve removing the exhaust hanger, supporting the transmission from underneath, and removing this completely so that we can install this piece into up there. So.
Ta-da!
No, we gotta get one more piece off. All right, so we took this out. This piece is supposed to slide in somehow into there. Freezing this piece for 15 minutes helps.
Okay, that makes sense now, the way this looks, yeah.
I think we can get it in with grease. All right, so just liberally add lube, synthetic lube, to the two parts so that they can be pressed together as easy as possible. And go ahead and try and press them together. And then just, yeah, guide it into place. All right, there you go. And you'll know it's through when both flanges are overlapped on both sides. So now we can wipe off the excess and put the part back in. All right, just put it all back together the way we took it apart. All right, so that sums it up. We might have another episode coming with doing a aftermarket amplifier for separate speakers with crossovers. So if he comes back and wants to do that, we'll upload the video. But for now, that's how you do the speaker upgrade, the anti-wobble insert, the steering column dampening lock, and what was the last one?
Strut bar.
And the strut bar. Just leave any comments below if you have any questions. Hope it goes smooth for you, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe.